This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Hey guys, what is up? Chris Fox here, and today we're going to review the G Pro Wireless. The first thing I want to talk about is the shape of the G Pro Wireless. So if you can't see from here, kind of looks like a potato, feels like a potato. It's very FK2-esque, I would say, but not quite. A little bit of a higher hump, which makes it perfect for, I would say, claw grip. Just really depends. Some people can palm it. I personally palm it, and so far the shape has been very good for me. The next thing I want to talk about is the clicks. So if you guys listen closely, you'll hear here, the clicks sound like this. So the main button sounds like this. Secondary. Scroll wheel. Scroll wheel click. Very, very quiet scroll wheel click actually. Back front button. Back button. Forward, mouse 4 and 5 obviously. So yeah, without a doubt the clicks are among some of the best I've ever seen. I actually have had a previous issue with my last model that actually had to be RMA due to double clicking, but that said, that isn't as frequent as some people on Mouse Review would like to you know, bring out in the light, because unfortunately I think it's just one of those situations where people that have the issue tend to talk more about the issue than it is actually people having the issue. But be aware before you buy this mouse that that could be an issue you might face, and I highly recommend that if you do run into that issue that you RMA your mouse instead of trying to switch the switches. The next thing that I want to talk about is the battery life and the wireless capabilities. This is without a doubt the best wireless mouse that I have ever used, and I've used a few others, including the Viper Ultimate. I did try that for a while. I did think it was very, very good, and in terms of latency and things like that, this is definitely about as good as it gets, and the Viper Ultimate is as well. This mouse uses a sensor that is called the Hero sensor, which allows up to 16,000 DPI. In fact, I don't think anybody actually uses that high of a DPI, but it is an option. In terms of tracking and other things, as you guys can see below here, I've got a all-stop raindrop that I've been maining for a while. I've had zero issues with tracking on this, nor have I had issues on the high end. Never had a problem with the MP510, a plethora of other mouse pads. So without a doubt, this sensor is very, 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 very capable. I've used it for about 6 months for CS, for Battlefield, you name it. Very, very solid. Now, for battery life, you can expect to see about, I would say, 50 hours depending on your usage, which is, you know, fantastic for a wireless mouse. What they put into this sensor, I have no idea how they managed to get that kind of battery life, but it is absolutely phenomenal, and you can expect for it to make it through the work week without a problem, without the LEDs on. The next thing that I want to talk about, and this is probably my biggest gripe with this mouse, and it's probably a little bit weird, is the coating. The coating is not the best on the G Pro Wireless. As you can see, I've got hotline grips on this right now, and there's a big reason behind that, and that's mainly because the grip when you get sweaty, especially me being in Florida, is awful. It is horrendous trying to make yourself grip this mouse. Some people might have a bit of a different mileage when it comes to this actual mouse, but for me personally, I had to have grips on here to help me grip it. I know a lot of people on Mouse Review will go out of their way to actually, you know, put grip tape, grips, whatever they decide to do with it. But I do think that in the future, I think Logitech should definitely look into maybe having some sort of grips that help a little bit. Nothing that can wear off, but hopefully something similar to how the Viper Mini's done it. And the final thing that I want to talk about with this mouse is the mouse feet. If you guys can't see from here, these are actually not pure PTFE. And as a result of this, the actual feel is alright, but they don't feel very good on specific pads. However, on the all-stop raindrop, they've been okay, and I've got hyperglides on the way to replace these. But the actual feet are not the greatest in my opinion, and I do feel like they could honestly work on this in the future and actually put pure PTFE feet, just like Zowie does, just like a lot of other mouse companies have come out with it and done. which I do believe Razer has as well now. I do think that there's no excuse for there to be a cheap rubber slash foam underneath this. I just don't think that's acceptable nowadays, and I think that that's one of the big reasons why I can't give this mouse a 10 out of 10. So for my final verdict on this mouse and what I think of the Potato, I do think the Potato gets a 8.5 out of 10. I do think that it is a very, very great mouse, and I think that you should highly recommend that you guys should try this mouse. But at the end of the day, I really don't think that this mouse is worth $140, especially given that nowadays you have mice like the Razer Viper, the XM1, mice that, you know, as good as wireless is, you have to wonder how worth it really is to have a wireless mouse at that point. I get that there's always going to be cable drag, but for the amount of money that you pay for this, I don't know if it's worth it, especially with some mice being under $40 nowadays that perform just as well, with better shapes, in fact. So I do think that the G Pro Wireless now is not the king of mice, but I do think that it is a very interesting option. And for players like me who really enjoy just having no cable and having very good battery life, I think this is a fantastic choice still. And I do think given the right circumstances and the right grip that this is something you should definitely look into. Yep, so either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. You know, it's my first review, so I hope that I covered all bases, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll leave a little bit of footage on the way out of some gameplay with it, and just let me know what you guys want me to review in the future. I've got a DM2 on the way, and hopefully it is decent.
Just can't really seem to stay. Fade away.